Today I'm flying Air India's stunning new A350 for the first time. This is the second leg of my Indian flying adventure, and we're headed from Delhi to Hyderabad in business class, and what a product this is, wow. So join me and let's do this. Well, hello y'all, and welcome to Delhi International Airport, where I'm just traveling domestic today. It's my first domestic flight within India after coming in on the 787 from Copenhagen. That was a surprisingly good flight, but today is quite a bit more exciting because my first flight in India is going to be on their new A350, the Air India A350, which just looks amazing. I'm looking at it right now out the window, and wow, it's just a beauty. Now this product is just the crying baby product. For the record, I have total sympathy for crying babies in airports and airplanes, having been there myself with those crying babies. All it takes for you to be the most understanding passenger in the world about that thing is to have your own kids on a plane and realize how mortified you feel as a parent when your kid is upset and crying, all that. And there's not much you can do when it's a baby, right? So I do blame parents, though. If there are kids who are rude, doing disruptive things on airplanes, it's not the kid's fault. It's always the parents' fault. Anyway, I digress. So this Air India A350, of course, still has the Aeroflot product on there because that's where these planes came from. We're yet to see the brand new Air India products on board the A350, but that's coming very soon. So in the meantime, it's just fun to fly an A350. I'm going down to Hyderabad, and after that, after a few hours in Hyderabad, onward to Chennai on Indigo A321neo, but that'll be a separate video. So let's go do this Air India thing in business class, a little bit of Aeroflot business class, but thankfully not going to Russia. Oh, it's a beautiful aircraft on the inside, brand new, fresh. It doesn't quite have new airplane smell, but everything is clean and brand new and lovely. As I mentioned, this is of course the Aeroflot product with some Air India coverings and branding. So it's not what you're going to get long term on the Air India A350s. But what an amazing little suite here, and it has a little closing door. So there's only so much value in actually sort of reviewing the specific experience of this suite, but it's obviously very nice, seems to be very private. We'll try closing the door a little bit later. It is definitely a little bit of a tight fit through this little alleyway to get to the aisle, but that's hardly a complaint that you're going to raise. It's, you know, we're nitpicking here. Seems like a lovely little place to spend time, and I could imagine spending 12 hours in here easily. Short flight down to Hyderabad, I think it's about an hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, so it's enough time to get a feel for it and just soak up the wonderful A350 vibes. I was brought a nice kiwi juice. The choices for pre-departure beverage were kiwi juice or buttermilk, and that is a selection I've never been offered before, and quite nice to have sort of all new range of choices. I don't think I've even ever had buttermilk. But kiwi juice sounds great and looks great too, so let's try that out.
आपातकालीन निकास वाले
I've watched a lot of videos about people flying in India, and I particularly remember going into this that Noel Phillips always talks about how annoying security at Indian airports are. Hey Noel, sure enough, it was a 20-minute process from when I put my bags on the bin on the belt on the conveyor to when I could finally leave the security area. You need to take every single thing out of your bags. My bags are full of electronics, so it's even worse. And nobody was rude, but it was a lot of kind of semi-illogical moments, like you're supposed to bring your boarding pass through the metal detector, but if it's on your phone, you can't do that. So it's kind of like a impossibility that is acknowledged but not sort of addressed, and so they're not fixing the system to do anything differently with regards to that. It's just, it gets asked of you, like, where's your boarding pass, and you're like, well, it's on my phone, and they're like, and I got the whole thing, like the pat down, the swab check, the bag was completely opened up. I mean, yeah, that would be stressful if I had to do it very often. It's honestly one of the worst parts about what I do, is just like dealing with the getting through the airport. It's when you get on the plane that it's finally, even nice airports, the security can be a source of stress at best, you know. Even if it goes fine, you're like anxious about it going in. Do I have to take out every last thing? How many of my things do I need to take out? Even as a kind of seasoned pro, I still kind of get a bit like, ugh, about that. I'm gone on long enough. Let's do this flight. Great crab and crew. It's the India jet lag. It's the half-hour time zone that's thrown me off. Just like on the first flight over from Copenhagen, this one much better seat, but same warm, friendly, lovely cabin crew. This is actually a pretty cool safety video. I like it. I also really love the boarding music that they do on all the Air India flights. They also play it in the lounge. It's really nice, very Indian. Really evokes India, your imagination of India anyway. It's gotten stuck in my head actually. I've been walking around Delhi airport all morning humming the tune. So yeah, that's a win for them, I think.
मोबाइल फोन जैसे छोटे उपकरणों का प्रयोग केवल फ्लाइट मोड में ही करें। इस विमान में धूम्रपान या ई-सिगरेट का उपयोग करना सख्त मना है।
कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, अब कैबिन लाइट्स कम की जाएंगी। यदि आप चाहें तो ऊपर की रीडिंग लाइट्स का उपयोग कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।
From
If I had to nitpick about the seat, I'd say the lack of an armrest here at the side is a bit of a shame. You really want someplace to put your elbow over here. It's not going to ruin a flight, but it was something I noticed. Everything else is very thoughtfully laid out, very sturdy, and feels like high quality in this suite. And the service on this flight was just incredible. Super attentive, kind, engaged.
Enjoy your achari more.
The flight attendant working my side took a special interest in the fact that I was eager to try the Indian food and came back to offer me extra pickle and then eventually even to try a second main course, which I had to say yes to. This was overall a theme in my time in India. People just want to make sure you eat plenty, and I love that. It's such a nice feeling when people like that you like the food and also just want to feed you a lot. I think it's so much fun. He said it was going to be spicy. I haven't had anything too spicy yet in my 30-ish hours in India. Delicious. It's spicy, but I can definitely handle it. Not crazy India spicy. Nice spinachy thing on the side. Beetroot. Papadum. Lovely. Strong. If you like your tea strong, this is good. I'm not sure how to get those shades to go only halfway, that front layer but not the full dark layer. It worked before, but now they're just going all the way up or down when I press it once, so who knows? But this aftermint thing is a very Indian specialty, in case you're not familiar with it. If you've been to certain Indian restaurants, you'll have seen these. If you can catch it there. Anyway, quite fun and quite tasty. Super fragrant, lots of anise and sweetness. Really good. Hot towel before landing as well. I mean, on a domestic flight, hour and 40-minute domestic flight. Looking at this amongst other domestic flights of this length, I mean, I'm blown away by the level of service. It's amazing. If this is what's expected in India, they have it really good here. Compare that to much longer European or US flights. Nothing to compare. This was an amazing flight. Now let's enjoy the descent and landing into Hyderabad. lovely flight, beautiful, too short, as it is often on these amazing premium products on short domestic hops. Can't wait to try the Air India A350 at some point on a longer haul flight, and especially when they get their proper new seats and everything. But even on this version, I'd happily fly this for however many hours it wants to carry me. Lovely cabin crew, really impressed. Again, kind of second experience with Air India, this time on the domestic. It's really blowing me away actually so far. I'm so pleasantly surprised by how good of a product this is. Overall, soft product, hard product. Actually, the hard product is kind of secondary because the cabin crew are so friendly, hospitable, just lovely people so far. So that's great to see. I'm so happy. I got a few hours in Hyderabad now, and then gonna catch my next flight onward to Chennai on Indigo. So thanks for coming along on this one, and we'll be putting together the Indigo flight for next week most likely. So make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching and for coming along on this second leg of my Indian adventure. See you next time.
Dear guests, Air India is pleased to announce 20 minutes early arrival in Hyderabad. Welcome to Rajiv Gandhi International Airport, where the outside temperature is 27 degrees Celsius.